This video is a really special video because I'm going to be covering one of the most important tools in WordPress ever, in my opinion. It's called ZIPWP. Now you can do multiple things like creating a website in just a few seconds. You can also use AI. You can build blueprints. So this is the ideal tool if you're someone who wants to learn WordPress, or if you're a design agency, or if you want to do anything WordPress related. So let's dive in and let me show you how this works. So the first thing you want to do is to go to the link I've provided in the video description below, and you want to head over here to ZIPWP. I'm going to click here on login. Now I have a professional account, so I have more features. So let's start off by creating a website super fast. So I'm going to come over here and click on create new, and then I'm going to say blank website. Now over here, you can give it a label. So I'm just going to call this test A, and then click on create site. Now you can also create from blueprint, but I am going to explain what a blueprint is and how it works. And you can also do WordPress multi-site. So I'm going to click on create site. Now you're going to notice that, in fact, before I even finish speaking, you can see here that I have a website that has been created for me. Now, if I wanted to log in, I can just click on one-click login, and just like that, I am going to be logged into my brand new website. Now, why is this important? Well, if you want to test some plugins or some themes, you can just quickly spin up a website and start working on it. Now, this is way different to setting up a hosting account and then setting up your WordPress website on a hosting service. You know, it costs more and it doesn't have a lot of features, as you shall see in this example. With ZIPWP, there's a ton of features. So as you can see here, this is my blank website. If I click on visit site, you can actually see this is my blank website with the title here, which says test A. And you may have not noticed this, but this is actually super fast. Okay, so we're done with that. So back over here in our dashboard, if you wanted to see all your websites, you just click here on all sites, and this will give you a list of all the sites on ZIPWP. So if you wanted to delete this, you can just come over here, highlight it like that, click on delete, and then you just need to type delete in here, and that deletes it. So here, my maximum websites I can create is 20 according to my plan. So the next step now is to take a look here at blueprints. Now, blueprints are very, very interesting because what you can do here is you can build a website and then create a blueprint based on it. So let's go back over here to all sites. So let's say I've created an e-commerce website, and this is the one here. It's called My Digital Product. I would have all the themes, all the plugins, all the setups, the design, pretty much everything. So what I can do now is I can turn this into a blueprint. So if I come all the way down here, I can click on these three little dots here and then click on create blueprint. Now, do you see how powerful this is? I can actually sell this blueprint and make money from it. But anyway, let me just show you how to set it all up. So I'm going to say test blueprint, and then I can give it a description here. Now, if you wanted to grow your email list using your blueprint, you can actually come over here and click on email collection. So here we can say collect email. You can also collect name, send credentials, and so on. And then you can enter your webhook over here. So I'm going to keep things very simple here. I'm going to come back to general. So over here, we also have an option. It says publicly shareable, or this can be a product demo. So you can actually create a demo from this. This is super amazing. We also have private over here. So what you can do now is once you've set all this up, you can click on create. So you're probably wondering what happens at this stage. So here we have our blueprint. So once it's finished setting up, in fact, let's go to this one here, which is already set up. I can click here on these three little dots here, and then I can say login credentials. And you can see here that these are my login credentials. But the most important thing is I can just share this link and pretty much I am good to go. So anyway, this one here has completed. I can now copy the blueprint link. So let's now open Google in incognito mode. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then show you what it looks like. So if I paste this link, and this is the link, by the way, that you're going to share with your audience. So now it looks like this. So I can say enter name and email address, and then I can just set my email address here and then click on launch website. So this is what the person that has clicked your URL will see. So if I click on launch website, notice what happens. It's now copying all the files that I created in my blueprints to then set it up on a brand new ZIPWP URL. So From that stage now, you can go in and pretty much do whatever you want to do because all the files that you need are already set up over here in the blueprint. Now, there's also something very important that you need to take a look at here. This process here is absolutely free. You're going to get a free ZIPWP account, but notice that this site will expire in 4 hours. So now it's saying here, in fact, let's create a free account if you need to create a free account here, or you can log into your existing account. But I'm going to close out of here. And as I mentioned, it is free to create the ZIPWP account. So you can just create it over here. All right, so I'm going to close out of here. Now, you're going to also notice that we have quite a few links here. This is a duplicate staging site, and this is where you can change your site address. But all you have to do now, because all the plugins and everything that's needed here is already here. Let me just click on view site so you can see what the site looks like. So here it is. This is the site, and you would have gotten this onto your website just like that. Now, let's say you're a design agency and you have a team that you're working with. You can start inviting your team onto ZIPWP by coming over here to team members. Now, you notice that we have this option here to invite your team. So you just click on that, invite team member. You enter the email address, and then over here you can give the role. So in this case, it's going to be a member, not the owner. But of course, if you have a business partner, you can have them to have full access to ZIPWP. So that's pretty straightforward. Now, if you want to see your usage, you can just come over here and this will give you all your stats. So in my case, you can see that I have 13 websites out of 20. Blueprints here, I have 2 out of 10. And then the space utilized is 5 gig out of 20 gig and so on. So with this, I also get my AI credits. I mean, I haven't used any, but I can really start using AI here and build all my websites with AI. Now, that's the next part I'm going to show you, which is very, very powerful. So let's head over here now to build with AI. So this is the part which gets me very excited because this is where we get to build our websites using AI, because one of the most difficult parts in designing a website is the copy itself. Even if you go to your client and say, hey, I need some information about your company and so on, this is, in my opinion, the stage which really delays pretty much everything, because chances are the client is not a copywriter, and in your case, it's going to be also really tough to create the copy. But thankfully, we have AI now. Mag Training, if that's the name of our website. And then over here, I can choose what this website is for. So there's quite a few here. There's agency, restaurant, entrepreneur, event, nonprofit, gym, and so on. So this time, let me build a gym website. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then click on continue. So this part here is where you want to give AI some basic information so it can start generating even more content for your description. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see here, I've just entered a basic description. So what I want to do now is to improve this using AI. So I'm going to go ahead and click on improve using AI, and let's see what AI brings for us. So in a short moment, you can see here that this description here is not too bad actually. So you can actually go in here and make a few tweaks. So here it says in downtown Toronto. I'm going to say in the heart of London, for example. And this is the beauty of using AI. This will give you the basic information which you can go in and start customizing. All right, so I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. Now, the next step is also very, very exciting, because this is where we get to start entering the information that needs to go on the website. So, for example, if you want to show your email address on the website, you can just go ahead and add it here. We can add our phone number here as well if you need to. And here we can enter our email address and also our social media links. Okay, so I'm going to paste it like that, hit enter, and it looks like we don't have any errors on that. So I'm just going to leave my YouTube channel there. Next, I'm going to click on continue. And now it's giving us images to choose from. Now, the beauty about these images are these are royalty free, so you won't get into trouble if you use these. So I would suggest that if you want to use these images, just use them as placeholders so that you can get to have a look at the layout of the website and then upload your proper images from your clients or your own images. All right, so let's go ahead and start selecting our images. I'm going to just go ahead and start clicking here. So I think I like this one here. So let's have different types. Now let's go to our meal plan. So we have this one here with some food. So let's just go on to the meal plan and see. Okay, fantastic. Now look at that. We have some images here as well. And these all look great. I'm going to choose this one as well. So as you can see here, I'm just going through some of these images here. and pretty much I have all the images that I need. Now notice that on the left here as well, you have check marks. So once we've done our images here, you're going to notice that this stage here has been completed. Now here's the fun part. This is where the AI gets to generate the layouts of our website, and there's going to be a ton to choose from. All right, so look at that. So when you mouse over here, it gives you an idea of what the website layout is going to look like. Again, we're going to do the same over here. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's say we decide to choose this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and we have more options to play around with our design here. So the first thing we're going to notice is the fonts. So we can actually come in here and change them around. So you can see just by clicking here, the fonts are changing, which is fantastic. Okay, what else can we do? We also have our color palette. So we can play around with our colors here. Now notice that the colors are changing. You can see we have a bit of a tint here in the background. Now what I really like about this is the dark mode. Now check this out. If I click on dark mode, you notice that the site now turns into dark mode, and we can choose different variations here of the dark modes. So at any point, if you decide, you know what, maybe I don't like this, all you have to do is to click on back to other designs, and now this takes you back, and we can start playing around with other layouts. So at this stage, let's say you have your client sat next to you. We can go through these layouts, and they can just pretty much pick the one they want, and then we'll be ready to go to the next step where we get to choose the features to integrate onto our website. Okay, so let's say we are happy with this and we want to move on to the next step. All you have to do now is to click on continue, and this now is going to take us to this stage. So this part here is very, very important, because when you design a website for your clients, you need to really work on what the website is going to do for the client. So in most cases, it's going to be either generating sales or generating leads. So here I'm going to say sales funnel. I'll go ahead and do that. And I'm also going to perhaps maybe add some videos at some stage. So I'm going to say video player. So what's going to happen now is when I click on start building, it's going to add those two features. Next, you can see here my email address and my phone number has been added. It has my description here. I can now say start building the website, and this now is going to start generating my website. Now, what I also like about this is it doesn't really take long. So in just a few moments, in fact, in less than a couple of minutes, we are going to have a completely functional website with all the pages that we need. Okay, so it looks like we're done now, and sure enough, our website is ready. So now I can click on view website by clicking over here. But again, you can see all your login credentials are right here. So you can just copy them and paste them if you want to log into your backend. Anyway, I'm going to take a look at our website here in a new tab, and there we go. Now, what we didn't see through the process was what the other pages look like. So we have the about page here, pretty nice. And remember, we entered some copy initially when we were working with the AI. So it has also created the copy that goes on the pages for us. So we have our call to actions here, beautiful images. We also have offerings. So the AI has chosen all this for us. Okay, so if you're wondering where is your website since it has been created, if you go back to, let's close out of here. Let's go back to our dashboard, our ZIPWP dashboard. And we're going to notice that if you click on all sites, here is our site, Mac Training. So at any point, if you want to log in, you can just come over here, click on login, and you're going to be logged into the backend of your website. And remember, we installed two plugins. So I'm going to show you these two plugins. One of them was a sales funnel one. So if I come over here now to plugins, you can see we have Cart Flows. We also have Presto Player. We also have Spectra. So let's now head over to our pages and start making changes to them. So I'm going to click on all pages so I can see all the pages on my site. And let's say we want to make changes to the about page. I can click on edit. At this stage, you may have not noticed this, but we haven't installed any premium plugins. That's because this AI uses Spectra and Astra. Now, these are very, very powerful tools. In fact, Astra is one of the most popular themes out there in the WordPress marketplace. And it is absolutely free. But of course, if you want some advanced features, you can upgrade to Astra Pro. And I'll also leave a link to that in the video description below. We also have Spectra. Now, Spectra works like a page builder, but for Gutenberg. It's also very, very powerful. Now, let me just show you what you can do with it. So let's say you want to edit, if you can just click over here, you notice that over here we have these 3 tabs. Now these are what you typically see in a page builder like Elementor or Bricks Builder or even Divi. You have the general tab. We also have the style tab. So on the style tab here is a few things I can do. I can go in and change the typography. I mean the size. I can reduce this a little bit or make it bigger. It's pretty much up to me what I want to do here. So this is the stage now where we can go in and start making all the tweaks. So you can go in and add the text as EM. So let's say this is going to be 2. So maybe that's the size I want. If I need to change the text itself, I can go in and, just start typing like that. Over here, we also have our images. If we go in, we can replace the image. And here it is right here. I can say change image. So this now is going to go to our media library. And this is where I can choose the image that I want to use. So let's say I want to use this one right here, or maybe this one. I can click on select. And now my image has been added, and it's as easy as that. So let's say you want to change the fonts. You can just click on the actual item that you want to make changes to, and then you can come over here to typography, choose your font family like that. If you want to search for it, you can search for it like that. And there we go. We can add pop-ins like that. Now for my font weight, or maybe for my size, I can go in and choose EMs, for example, set it to 1.2. And you can see here, everything is updating. Now you can also ask AI. So the AI assistant is also there for you. This is super powerful. So at any point, if you want to rephrase this, you can just go in and rephrase, make it shorter, make it longer. You can fix the grammar. I mean, this is really, really amazing. So you can see I've just clicked on rephrase. It's going to give me my options here, and I can choose the option that I need to choose over here. So if I maybe perhaps say use this, it's just going to change it, and it's been updated. And then the same thing applies. If I come over here, I can say ask AI. I can fix the grammar, and these are the options. It's looking for the grammar mistakes, and then again I can just use this. And for the tone, I can change my tone here. I can make it humorous, I can make it serious, I can make it playful. So as you can see, the AI is integrated into Spectra in a very, very elegant way. So as you can see, this is a very, very powerful page builder, and I'll highly recommend that you spend a bit more time on it. Now, I will be making more tutorials on it. Okay, so let's say your design is great and you're happy with it. What you can do now is you can go to your theme and start playing around with the theme. So I'm going to click on WordPress here, click on leave, and we can now go to Astra. So let's go to our dashboard, and this is where you can start activating and customizing a few things. So we also have our color here. It opens up in a new tab, so you can go in and start customizing your colors if you don't like what the AI gave you. Okay, so now we are on the color palettes. So now we can start choosing our colors. You can see here this has right away changed the color. You can change your accent colors here, your links, your heading 1, your surface color as well, site background, content background, and so on. And these are global, by the way. So if you make a change here, this will apply across the whole website. And there's also more. We can add our scroll to the top. We also have accessibility options. We also have our block editor. Now, if you want to take your designs to the next level, this is where you can start using your custom site with AI. Now, this is in the alpha stage, but it has a ton of features that are very, very exciting. So I'm going to click here on the custom site with AI. And you may have noticed that the UI is slightly different here. So just like how we did before, we're going to enter our name. So this time I want to give the AI something very short. So you can see here I said Mag Training trains tennis players. And let's see what happens if I say improve with AI. Wow, look at that. I mean, I have a really massive description here. I mean, this is really cool. Wow. Now, if you take time to read this, you'll just notice that this has pretty much written things that are very relevant to the tennis training program. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on generate sitemap. Now the approach here is quite different because this now is going to give you some sort of layout to your website and give you an idea of where the pages are in a sitemap and wireframe mode. Now look at that. So you can pretty much click over here and drag it around, which is really nice. And look at all these pages. Now, this way of designing websites, I definitely prefer because you can do the bulk of your work in this sitemap mode. And by the way, you also have the wireframe mode. So this just gives you an idea of what things look like on your website. So you can see so far we have the home page. Now back over here on the sitemap, what we can do is once we have a look at our hero services, services list, features, and so on, if you wanted to add anything here, you can just click on this little plus button and it's going to give us now the information that we may need to add onto that section. So let's say I want to add the team. I'm going to click on that. And now I've added the team, but we have no idea about what it looks like. So if you come over here to wireframe, we can scroll down here and let's find the team, personalized training, and so on. Here we go. We have meet the Mac team. So if I click on this, it's going to give me some variations of how I can lay it out. So maybe I don't like these circles. I can go with something like that. And again, this is my wireframe and it's giving me an idea of what this looks like. Now, if you look at design agencies, most of them use a tool like Figma or those type of tools like Sketch maybe to do their wireframe, but we can do this in ZIPWP, and I think this is very, very powerful. Okay, so this is the layout. Now, what I also like about this is I can go in and choose the colors here. So let's say I want it to be dark. I can just make it here dark. And now I know which sections are dark mode and which ones are not. If I want to give it a bit of a color here, again, I've just given this, a color just to separate it from the other sections. Okay, so that's looking great. Now, what's amazing is we can actually do this to the other pages. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to scroll down here. So we have the About Us. So we don't have any sections yet. So let's go ahead and start working on this. I'm going to click on that. So for the About Us, I'm going to need, let's say, About. Now you've just noticed that the About information here has been added. I can click on this plus button and I'm going to go to the services list. Okay. Now let's continue adding more. And I think I'm going to need the pricing. Okay. And one more, maybe some sort of FAQ. Or maybe a call to action. Let's go with call to action. Okay, so now I can just quickly switch to wireframe. And remember, we're working on the About Us. I'm just going to click and drag. Now notice that all my pages are all here. So I can click and drag. And now I can go in and start taking a look at all the sections that have been added. Okay, so maybe I don't like the look of this. I can just click here. And notice that I'm going to have the variations here of the list. So I'm going to go with this one here. Okay, that's great. Here we have the pricing. So I'm going to click on that and maybe I can choose a totally different pricing plan. And look at this. This one here is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I didn't notice that. If you hover over here, do you see that it's added on? I think that's really cool. Go ahead and click on that. Now, do you notice that this section here and this section does not have a color to differentiate them. So I'm going to go ahead and add a very light color here like that. Okay, that looks much, much better now. Okay, so let's say I'm pretty happy with all my designs. Let's go back to our wireframe mode here. So remember, you can add all your sections here and you can actually generate the page. Look at this. There's an option here to generate the page. If you don't want to go in and add them one by one. In fact, let's go ahead and do that for pretty much all of them. I'm going to generate that, training programs. I'm also going to do the coaching team so that we don't have a blank website. So this one here has quite a lot of features. Testimonials and so on. Okay. Training programs, features list. So let's say there's something you don't want to add here. You can just go ahead and delete it by right clicking. Okay, that's gone. Now, if at any stage you want to add an extra page, you can just come over here and generate your empty pages. And then you can also regenerate the sitemap by clicking on this button. So let's say we're done and we are ready to go to the next step. I can now click on this little icon and say create website. Now I'm going to say start building. So this is going to take a bit of time because it has more pages and more content on it. Okay, so our website is ready, and this took less than 3 minutes, to be honest, for a massive website like this. Now let's click on view your website. So just like before, we have the outline of our website. So you can see here, this is where our placeholder images would go. This looks very nice. Now this is a very, very good starting point. Now over here, we also have the About Us. I think this is the About Us page that I created as well. Okay, that looks really nice as well. Look at that. Here's the pricing plan and our call to action. So with all that now, what you can do is you can start going in and making a lot of changes to your website. So for example, let's say you want to go in and start changing this. Your starting point will be, your theme. So you can change your default colors here. We have our fonts, just like how we had this before. You can go ahead and select your font pairs, save that. Now, if you wanted to edit the page, you can just click here on edit. Now, just like before, we have Spectra running our website. So let's go ahead and close out of here. So let's say you want to change this image right here. I can go to style, change image. Now, at the moment, I don't have anything in my media library, so I would have to upload some images. So let's head over to pexels.com. So I'm going to search for a tennis player. All right, so we're going to go with this one here. I'm going to click on this drop down and then download it. So I'm going to go with 1920 by 1280, download selected size. So the example I'm going to do for you here is just with one image. So now let's head over to select files from our media library, and we're going to go to our downloads, and here it is. And then I'm going to hit select. So now we can see that our image here has been added. So what's important here as well is to go in and change a few things here to make sure that the image fits the space, because right now I can see that this gap is a bit small. So back here on general, you can see our minimum height here is 380. So I can increase it by just doing that. So let's set this to 680. Now back over here on style, I can now customize this, move this around by clicking on this little circle icon here to really make sure that my image here is in the right place. And I think that looks great. But of course, if you wanted to move it a bit more, it's up to you. But I think this is great. All right, so now with that, I can go ahead now and click on update. And let's view the page. And there we go. So we have a beautiful hero area here. We have our image. And I can continue on and start adding all my images here, and then also update the content that's over here. Now let's head over back here, because I'm going to show you something also very important here, which is we also have the ability to use AI. So here it is. We have our AI assistant here. So I can translate my pages, I can write content for the pages, and I can do quite a lot here. Now, what's also very exciting here is we also have a design library. So if you click here on design library, we can see all our designs over here. So look at that. So at any point, I can insert any of these onto my page and start working with it. So we have our call to actions, the about, services, list, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to close out of here. So let's say I wanted to add something over here. I can just click on this plus button, and then I can start adding all my elements that I need to add here. Now over here on the top, I can start by adding a container if I need to. You can see that I've added my container. And if I click here on this plus button, I can start adding all my modules. So it's pretty straightforward to use. So I would highly recommend that you use ZIPWP if you are a design agency or you're a freelance designer. I mean, as you can see, our starting point here is pretty much very, very easy to get started, because we don't have to go in and use other tools like Figma or Sketch or even Photoshop to design our first initial layouts. I mean, with this blueprint and wireframe mode, I mean, I think this is the best thing that I've seen in WordPress. So I'm going to leave a link to ZIPWP in the video description below. Go ahead, check it out. And if you're really serious about WordPress and you really want to make money with WordPress, this is how you can start designing your website super fast with a very, very affordable budget. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments box below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.